Jim Crow 2.0 is about two insidious things.
Deciding in some states that you cannot bring water to people standing in line.
And here's a video of the last time Democrats brought water to black people standing on line. Yeah, I'll pass.
Pernicious thing. This makes Jim Crow look like Jim Eagle.
Whoever wrote that line for Joe Biden, comic genius. So they want to talk about a two-tier justice system. Let's talk about it then. Hello everyone, this is Keith. Welcome to the Ghetto Sapien channel, your home of inner city intelligence. Right now I'm wearing my, this was kind of an old one. I designed it when the mask hysteria was at its peak. It's supposed to be Fauci in a mask with mask hysteria, mask psychosis, and yeah, mask delusion. I like it, so I still wear it because I still see people wearing their mask and they give me such a look when they see this one. Anyway, so enough of me advertising my stuff. Let's talk about, do we live in a two-tier judicial system? Yes, we do. I think we all know it. And here's how you can tell. When you can predict the outcome of a trial or the outcome of an investigation just merely by knowing the political ideology of either the victim or the perpetrator, we're living in a two-tier judicial system. It used to be, of course, we had this before. We had Jim Crow 1.0 coming from the same party of Joe Biden. You could tell by the skin color of the person what most likely the outcome was going to be. Now we move to political ideology, where, again, by the person's politics, you could kind of tell. The closer they get to D.C., you can tell, too, whether the person's going to get away with it or not. And we all know the deal. No one's surprised by these lopsided outcomes. No one was shocked, frustrated but shocked, when Hillary Clinton destroyed reams of evidence, government property, cell phones, hard drives, laptops. These things were subpoenaed and were supposed to be kept for evidence, but she destroyed them. She suffered absolutely nothing for it. Is your two-tier judicial system. On the other hand, anyone within Trump's orbit, any of his friends, his associates, they're almost guaranteed a free subpoena with every Domino's pizza delivery. It's just so predictable nowadays. And then the ultimate, you got Jeffrey Epstein. Everyone knew that dude didn't commit suicide. It was so obvious. It was like a running joke. I'm sure you all know. For months and months and months. It was one of the things that got the right and the left to agree on one thing. Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself. What got him killed, more likely, was the list of people he had serviced. He's pretty much a pimp, and probably that painting of Bill Clinton in a blue dress, that probably didn't help much either. I mean, that's one of the things that also happens in a two-tier judicial system. You go after the Clintons, and yeah, your chances of getting away or at least facing regular justice would be about as, at least a fair trial in D.C., especially if you go against a Democrat in D.C., an establishment. That'd be like me smacking a white woman on the ass in 1932 in Mississippi and expecting to get her phone number. It's not going to happen. So that's just how it is. And again, we've become accustomed to it. We just don't even think about it. We shrug our shoulders, and it is what it is. And nobody has proven that there's a two-tier judicial system more than Hunter Biden. He gets away with stuff. Well, just look for yourself.
If you have a piece of crack cocaine no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand.
And hold on, I just want you younger folk who've never seen a living Joe Biden in the wild, just to behold this Joe Biden There he is. That's how Joe Biden used to look and used to act. He was on a ball. He was still crooked, still not very bright, but at least he could complete sentences. He could stand up. He could move around. He could talk. He didn't need a teleprompter to know when to wipe his ass. So I just want you to see it because it's a rare thing nowadays. The Joe Biden you guys see nowadays is not the Joe Biden that was twice rejected by the American people when he had a little, more brain cells firing. You guys still got to explain to me how you voted for 81 million. You got to wink my eye every time I say that. 81 million people voted for the older, more crooked, more corrupt, less cognizant Joe Biden. One day that needs to be explained to me. But anyway, like I said, just behold Biden in all his glory.
$0.0025. We passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says if you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail. Judge doesn't have a choice.
No, I just waited for the bag.
Okay, according to Hunter Biden's daddy, I would say that's about 30 years of jail right there on that scale. Even though I found out later on that is meth, or it's either meth or Hunter's molars, it looks like, or his front teeth. But that's meth, supposedly. So I don't know how much time he'd get for that, but I don't think he would, this is enough to get most people locked up for a long, long time. But Hunter Biden gets away with it, even though his father's there pushing the 1991 and 96 crime bill like a madman.
It's 2.06.
2.07.
See, and this is probably why Burisma and the Chinese investment company sought Hunter Biden's advice. That man knows his numbers. That is 2.07 ounces probably of heroin. I'm sorry, I don't even know my drugs as well. That's crystal meth. Man.
Without the bag.
So how long is
2.0.
Look at that floor. That man has his act together. I can't believe why no one would want to hire him as a CEO. I mean, that's believable. Look at him. But that's not, breaking federal law and getting away with it. That's not the only federal law that Hunter Biden just walked all over. Here's another one. This one happened in 2018. Hunter Biden violated, and it's not reportedly, he violated the federal gun law by lying on a background check. And the irony of this is Democrats are always screaming about we need to have more background checks. Didn't catch this guy. He lied, and we know he lied about it. And the lie is not like he lied about his home address or social security number. He lied about the most obvious thing, where he said no in response to, are you an unlawful user or addicted to marijuana? Marijuana, that's like Starburst to Hunter Biden, or any other depressant, stimulant, narcotic, drug, or any other controlled substance. That dude said no. Wow, that took balls. Maybe not, though. He probably, again, knew he wasn't going to get in trouble. It's 2018, and he's from a powerful family. So, again, like I said, two-tiered judicial system. He knows he lives in a two-tiered judicial system, or he'd be acting like this. And we know we all live in a two-tiered judicial system. We're just not lying to ourselves. That's all. Also, on top of that, this is a little gem also. Copies of the transaction record and receipt for one gun were obtained by Politico for a report on Secret Service agents allegedly intervening after President Biden's daughter-in-law threw the gun into a trash receptacle. So he lied on his background check and his, because she's a list of things. She's not just Joe Biden's daughter-in-law. She's Joe Biden's dead son's former wife, the widow, who was at the time Hunter Biden's chick on the side. Like for 3 years they were dating. So basically, Hunter Biden was sleeping with his brother's widow. So they just kind of left that out in the Yahoo article there. I could see why. It's a little confusing. The Biden family's a little effed up. So, why confuse the people? But that's not the only thing Hunter Biden did to prove that there's a two-tier judicial system. There's a recent video of a couple of hookers who were going to see Hunter Biden in Washington, D.C. He wrote a check. It's always a genius move right there to record your crimes by doing a Jesse Smollett and writing a check. So he wrote a check saying it was for medicinal reasons and purposes, that it was about $3,400. He paid for these prostitutes to ride the subway, crossing through state lines in order to get to him, to give him the quote-unquote girlfriend experience, aka, I guess, walk on him barefoot, whatever. He was kind of a freaky guy. But that's called a violation it's a federal law, and it's called the Mann Act. And you know who else broke the Mann Act and got in trouble for it? R. Kelly, sentenced to 30 years on Mann Act and racketeering conviction. So there we go. Poor R. Kelly, who I really didn't follow anyway. I didn't follow his trial, but I did know he was convicted on the Mann Act. He got in trouble for it, but Hunter Biden gets away from it. Look, what they're doing is they just put Hunter Biden on investigation, and they're not really investigating him. The FBI is not checking into him because they've had this information since at least 2018 and haven't done anything. They basically just freeze everything by saying it's under investigation. This way, Joe Biden can get away with, well, I don't want to speak about it because there's an open investigation. His press secretary can say the same thing. That's all this investigation, quote unquote, is really all about. End of quote. Repeat the line. Anyway, I just had to throw that out there too. We all know we live in this system. We all know it's not fair. And again, we're at the point we just kind of shrug our shoulders and hope it ends. I don't think anyone expects it to end unless the swamp is cleared out. So that's that. I got not much else to say about this subject. So I'd like to hear from you though. Please leave your comments. Please share, subscribe, and like. That's it. Good night.